Good Morning Hawaii here. Time now 6:13. On Capitol Hill today, we have only our senators to connect us with the goings-on in Washington. And we're joined today by Senator Hirono, who has a few moments to talk to us about her trip back to Hawaii soon. Senator, good morning.
Good morning. Aloha to everyone. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter and happy Good Friday. Thanks for joining us here. I know that you're busy. You're actually planning a trip back to Hawaii soon for some town hall meetings. Tell us about those.
I'll be doing 2 town halls on May 6th. That is a Saturday, so I hope that a lot of people can come. And one is going to be on Oahu at Kaimiki High School. And on the same day, I'll be going to Kauai and having a town hall at the Chiefess Kamakahele Middle School. So details to follow. But the main thing is that I would encourage the community and all of the people who have been contacting me through these past months of the Trump campaign, expressing their concerns about the priorities and policies of the Trump administration. So this will be a chance for me to talk face-to-face with them, although I've certainly been in contact with them from hearing from so many thousands of them over the last number of months.
Now, Senator, let's talk about the Trump campaign and the Trump administration and some of the policy changes happening in Washington today. Now, the Affordable Health Care Act was a target of a Republican campaign to repeal and replace not long ago. Now, all indications look as though that effort is dead. Is there still an ongoing effort to repeal and replace the Affordable Health Care Act?
The effort to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act is not dead by any means, because that is something that the Republicans campaigned on, and in fact in the House, U.S. House, they repealed the Affordable Care Act dozens of times, and so that they will continue their efforts. And in fact, as you probably know, President Trump has said that he continues to want to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. And one of the things that I'm very disturbed about is that he has put out there that he would withhold support to the insurers who are in the exchanges, and withholding support for a lot of people, thousands, millions probably all across the country, who are getting assistance in making those health care payments to the insurers. So that is basically using these innocent people who need this health coverage and using them as hostages to force the Democrats to come to the table to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. And in Hawaii, there are some 20,000 Hawaii residents who would be impacted by the withdrawal of that kind of support.
Now, is it possible for the administration to move forward without pursuing the replacement of that ACA? It looks as though current budget restrictions would indicate that Trump would have to make some sort of changes in order to meet his new budgets.
There is agreement that the Affordable Care Act, which is a huge piece of legislation, could be improved. And so the Democrats have always had the position that we would like to improve the Affordable Care Act, not repeal it, and leaving millions of people out in the cold. So certainly we can proceed with making the kind of appropriate changes to the Affordable Care Act that makes sense and that would not kick millions of people off the health care rolls. And that's something that President Trump also said, that whatever he comes up with will make sure that everyone gets health insurance. Well, the first plan, Trump Care, would actually have kicked off millions, 20 million people off of health care coverage over the next 10 years, not to mention they would have been a huge multi-billion-dollar tax break to the richest people in our country. So that is not the way to go. The way to go is to sit down and talk about how we can improve the Affordable Care Act.
Thank you, Senator. Switching gears for just a moment here, global tensions are currently escalating as the threat of action in North Korea seems to be moving towards an escalation here. The U.S. now sending some ships to the area. China now warning against escalating the situation. Our proximity to North Korea makes it a hot issue for us here in Hawaii. What can you tell us about what's happening there?
Well, our goal has always been to stop North Korea from continuing their nuclear ambitions and their nuclear tests. And so, yes, we do have a carrier group off the peninsula, of the Korean peninsula. It is concerning, but I think what's important is that we are asking, and President Trump has requested, and in very strong terms, to have China step up and play a much needed role in dissuading North Korea from its nuclear ambitions.
Has China agreed to participate with America, with the United States, if an escalation like this does occur?
I think it is something that China is also interested in. They're not just going to do this because they want to be good friends with us. They have their own national interests, national security interests. They do not want a nuclear-armed North Korea either. And so there are indications that China will consider stepping up its economic sanctions. We know that against North Korea, that China is North Korea's biggest trading partner, and when China stops sending oil, for example, to North Korea, that will have an economic impact, negative impact on North Korea, and also they turned away some coal shipments from North Korea to China. So the hope is that China will step up. And, of course, it is very critical that before the United States takes any kind of preemptive action against North Korea, that we are in very strong communications with our allies in the area, particularly South Korea and Japan.
Thank you, Senator Hirono. Back in the islands here on May 6th, a press release on your website stated that you'll be undergoing surgery for some time. Nothing serious, we hope.
I hope for a full recovery and be back at work when the Senate reconvenes. But the surgery does require some preparation time, and so that's why I'm not home, and I'm looking forward to my town halls on May 6th.
All right, we'll see you on May 6th. Senator
Okay.
Hirono here.